Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. In this particular video, I'm going to be using the estimated cost at completion worksheet to show you how easy it is to spot if a wrong cost code was applied to a PO or wrong cost codes applied to bills as you enter them. And I'm also going to talk about correcting that, but I'd like to show you how CHS alerts as you're doing this kind of work before you even would put the wrong cost code on it, and you could correct it right at the time you did it. But I will show you how, if you get through all of that and still have the wrong cost code, how you might be able to correct that. So I've already opened the estimated cost of completion by clicking on this budgets estimates and then the budgets ECC list, and then clicking on our demo job that we've been working on and opening the ECC. Now what you should do, like I'm talking about, the builders, etc., should come in here every day and take a look at the ECC, and that one of the things you can spot, you're probably looking at where the ECC is showing that it's headed towards being over budget, so you can look for things in red. And let's go down here to this one. Let's look at this $350 for lot clearing. $500 was budgeted, and it's showing $350 over, and that's because there are higher POs than the budget, so it's using that $850 for the ECC and saying that ECC is anticipating $350 over budget. But if you look at the line right below it, you see that it was for $350. And you could start wondering if perhaps when somebody did some purchase orders, they used the wrong cost code. So we'd like to look and see if there's more than one purchase order sort of lurking back here. And you can spot that, and there's no posted cost, so actually it would be quite easy at this time to go ahead and get this one corrected to the erosion control that you could see, and perhaps somebody wrote some notes on there that even help you know that it's for erosion control, or they should have maybe PO titled it erosion control. And you can drill down on the PO. I'm actually not going to do it because I'm going to want to show you how to do it after you get posted costs attached to it by accident. If you have actual costs attached to the PO, it won't let you change the cost code. Right now it's going to let me without a message, and I could get this cost code changed to that erosion control, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it with the PO being wrong, because with this PO being wrong, it's going to be easier for somebody entering a bill to also get it to the wrong cost code if they're selecting POs. So let's go. I didn't make any changes here. We're still showing this situation, but right away a builder or somebody could spot it, and if it did just have to do with POs, it'd be pretty easy to just go change that PO and get that in the right cost code, and then it would show up here and they wouldn't be showing an anticipated overage over here. But let's go home and let's be the person posting bills, because I'd really like to show you how they get quite a bit alerted and how they can drill down and see what's going on also before they use the wrong cost code, although we're still going to use the wrong cost code just so I can demonstrate to you how to get it all fixed after you've made the error. So I'm entering a bill that those POs were issued to Big Buck Construction, and this video is not about taking care of those expired insurances. But as we selected our vendor back here, we also got to notice that there's open POs. So the person doing data entry will most likely drop down, look at the bill or a signed PO that they got back, and decide they've gotten a bill for maybe $850 that has two things on it, or they've gotten signed POs back because they're just paying only off of purchase orders. So they select that one, and CHS does its work to just go ahead and fill in information here. And then they make another line because they know they're going to pay $850 because of some bill or something, and so they realize that must be for that one. Although on the bill it probably says erosion control, and that might even alert you just a little bit. But maybe this person just decides to type that in because that's what it says on the bill. But they've just let the POs go ahead and drop in the cost codes based on the purchase order. But since one of the purchase orders was wrong, this now means that the bookkeeping person is maybe selecting them and letting that go and saying, well, we have POs, I'm going to put it to that. But if you, I did some moving around of this window to look, and so now I need to get over here. Here we go. So I've done those two, but notice what happens if I submit it. It's pausing and it's saying alerts have been found for over budget, etc. And you can pause this and read this if you like. But this allows you to continue to submit or pause the submit so that you could take a look at those alerts. So there's that point right there where the bookkeeper or whoever's entering these bills, and it says to drill down on the words, and it says it's over budget. It's not showing over POs, because we actually do have 2 POs issued for those amounts. But it is saying this is causing an over budget thing. Right here, we have a budget of $500 and unposted costs of $850 to that cost code 1210. So it's showing that we're going to go over by $350. And that might cause you to wonder a little bit more about, well, that's interesting. Let me go ahead and take a look at all of the ECC to see if I can spot something while I'm being the bookkeeper for this job. You know, that maybe tells me something I can go tell somebody about. And the bookkeeper can see these same lines here. The $500 that was budgeted and the $350 that was budgeted for 2 different cost codes, and that the POs were issued for the $850 for probably both of them instead of apart. Now, if the bookkeeper has the authority, etc., you can actually drill down here to the PO and see it there, or just to see them, you know, kind of thing. But from this window, there's also a hyperlink for POs and costs that you can take a look at the POs for this job and this vendor, and you can drill down. Both of these are under the cost code 1210 right now, but you can drill down right here before posting your bill and get that purchase order corrected, because you could make your change now to the right cost code and take care of it. If you have the authority to be doing that, just because you do know what you're doing, me as a controller posting bills would probably have the authority to say I need to go correct that so that it matches up with the budget. And I did not do the correction because I still want to show you how to do all of it. If you somehow get past all these warnings, if the bookkeeper doesn't pause and see if they can't do some correction based on this over budget alert, etc. But I still wanted to show you how much CHS is warning you as you go. The other thing I should have shown you is on that purchase order, one of the purchase orders that has a 1210 cost code. If I open either one of them, actually, it's also showing to the person that created the purchase orders, it's giving them some information when they originally created it, which has to do with the ECC. And right over here, it's showing this purchase order and all purchase orders, total POs for this cost code, are going to cause an over budget of $350 for this cost code. And that's not really even true, because if you get them split, they're not over budget. But let's go ahead and play like everybody has ignored everything that CHS is trying to tell them about that original budget, and these bills get submitted, which can be easy to do if you're in a big hurry. And there's my telling me again it's going to be over budget, but I'm going to go ahead and submit those bills. And I'm just going to submit them as unpaid to pay later. If the bookkeeper made a change to one of the cost codes, she or he could click on this and actually write some notes about doing that with this little pencil edit icon. Notes that somebody approving the bills to pay could read, and also notes that you can see on the ECC worksheet after they're written. Maybe she didn't make the change, but just wants to say, maybe I'm being the bookkeeper. To be over budget. Now I can save that note. Maybe the bookkeeper did notice something but didn't make the change and still posted the bill to the wrong cost code, but did decide to go ahead and write a note about that. So I'd like to show you about how that, for one thing, the person or project manager that comes along to approve job cost bills, let's just select our demo job, can see that there's a note attached to that bill. And they might get involved in trying to see about changing that cost code. And if we look down here at Big Buck, you can see there's a little pinned note here indicating somebody's written some note about this. Now this person could spot that and maybe try to change the cost code, but the trouble is there's a PO attached. They'd need to set the PO to none and then change the cost code, which they could do here. The project manager. I'm still going to go all the way to the estimated cost of completion worksheet to do all the changes, but here's one point. Set the PO to none, change the cost code, and then that person would need to go remember to find the PO and change, which they could do some of that work from here, and then change the cost code on the PO. So there's various places where you will notice, that there's an issue with that bill because the bookkeeper wrote something about it. So now I'm going to refresh my ECC worksheet after posting those two bills to the wrong cost code. And now you'll see that there are actual costs here and that we're still showing the $350. So somebody else coming along after all this may say, no, this $350 is supposed to be down here in this cost code. So now from the ECC worksheet, I'm going to show you how you should change that. If there's POs attached to this cost, you should drill down on the total POs to do this changing, because what's going to open is actually a POs and cost management window that will let you drill down both to the posted costs and to the POs. The first thing, since you want to change this $350 to a different cost code, is you should uncheck it as being done. It will automatically get checked if you post a bill that is for the amount of the PO. It'll be check marked as done. It actually gives you the option to have those checked like that or not when you're entering the bill. You'll see that at the top of the bill window. So I unchecked this as done, and what I want to do is I want to go drill down on my posted cost to see if I can get that cost code changed. So then it shows all the costs attached to that PO, and you'll notice it says these are costs attached to that PO number. And I'm going to click the pencil edit icon to edit that. And if I try to drop down to change the cost code, you'll know that it's blocked, and it tells you across the top if a PO is attached, you won't be able to change the cost code. So what I need to do is set the PO to none so I can get that where it's active now, and I can actually drop down on it. Note that I have some other videos about if this cost has been included in a draw request, cost plus draw request, or a few other things, or it was approved for payment based on this cost code. The cost code will still be locked, and I have another video that shows how you're going to need to go post an in and out entry to get it out of the wrong cost code and into the right cost code. So that there'll be a trail for people that are looking at draw requests and so on. But in this case, None of those other things apply, so this field opened up. So I can go ahead and I can select the erosion control, which I do, my description does match. But if I do the drop down to try to reattach, there won't show any POs to attach to it, because the thing is I need to go change the cost code on the PO, because this will only show purchase orders that have the same cost code and job and vendor. So I'm going to save that change for a moment, and I'm going to close this window. Now this POs and cost management window will now show no records, because this actual cost, list of actual costs, because it's only showing you ones for that PO number, but I unattached the PO number. In that case, you usually have to close the wait message. And so I'm going to say this. It says if I made any changes, do a refresh. Notice that this is all for cost code 1210. Now there's no posted costs attached to this one, but there's still a PO. So what we want to do, since we've unattached costs to that PO, is we want to change the PO to a different cost code. So I'll use this pencil edit icon by the cost code, and I'll get it changed to the 1-2 erosion control. And I could put a different PO title. It's also going to change the PO title, but it says change the cost code. So now it is. And this refreshes, and now we only have one PO for this screen that's showing POs and cost management for 1210. So let's close that. And notice that the ECC worksheet is refreshing itself, and we'll look at what's happened because I made the changes. Notice we no longer show 350 over budget here, and this line has POs of 350 and actual costs of 350, and it's not showing over. But if we remember in our head and we drill down back on this one to show all POs and costs for the cost code 1215 for erosion control, we'll see that these posted costs are not matched up with the PO. They don't have a PO attached to them. So now let's try to go do that. Drill down on the posted costs. Let's edit it. And let's go ahead and get a PO attached to that, because now there's a PO with that cost code. We just changed it. So let's take care of that part of it. I do have step-by-step instructions for this in a help document. And now it's not finding that it's only looking for ones with a PO of none when I drill down on those actual costs. So it says if you've made any changes, do a refresh on this POs and cost management. And now you can see that those are lined up. The PO is this PO number, the cost code is that, and these posted costs have been attached to this PO total. So that's how you get that changed. That's how you can spot it. Like I said, I have some other information in another video that actually goes into if you cannot change that cost code on that actual cost, how you're going to need to do some in and out entries to take care of that. If you look at the help here, I'm making a video, this video, which is going to also be here, but under help, there's quickly review and edit job costs. This is one video I already did that says change cost code on actual cost of CHS prevents changing it. This help document shows a lot of the stuff that I was just going over. And it's about time to stop this video because the dog is barking. Thank you for watching.